Okay, so getting back into our coverage over Spawn for Spawn Sundays, we actually do pick up with Spawn number 55. Now, let's not forget, by this point, Terry and Spawn are now working together to bring down Jason Wynn. And so while you have Spawn kind of looking through all the different files that could technically help him and Terry bring down Jason Wynn, you have Terry look around the place that belongs to Spawn. Now, let's not forget here, Terry just found out that Spawn is Al Simmons. Now, he knew of Spawn for many chapters, except in recent chapters, he just found out his best friend who had died 5 years ago came back to life, and now it is Spawn. Now, when it comes to Terry, he has no idea how Al came back to life. We do as the readers, but not Terry. And so while you have Spawn just looking through all the different files of Jason Wynn to find different ways to bring him down, Terry is just walking around the place, looking at all the different clues of what Spawn has done over the short period of time being a Hell Spawn, including finding some dead bodies as well. And so this is Terry realizing that this is not the Al he used to know 5 years ago. This is a new version, but at the same time, this is an Al who had died, but then was brought back to life by one of the many devils in hell. So yeah, his mind would be tad bit on the crazy side. Either way, once you have Spawn realize that Terry's kind of snooping around the place, you have Spawn freak out and say, stop. I am not ready for you to learn everything that happened to me, because honestly, I still have no idea what in the world is going on with me being a hell spawn for one of the many devils. And so it's Spawn saying, when I'm ready to talk to you, I will talk to you then. But for right now, I'm not going to. And so Terry has no choice but to let Spawn continue to find any kind of way to bring down Jason Wynn, but to not bring up the idea that he died 5 years ago and came back as some kind of hell demonic creature. And so then we pick up with Jason Wynn. Now, when we do, we see him kind of hanging out in some kind of fancy club. And the reason why, because he's meeting up with some other people who are technically high-ranking government people in other countries. And this section is really made to show us that when it comes to Jason Wynn, he has connections everywhere in a lot of different countries across the world. And usually he's always helping out some kind of world leader to pull off some kind of scheme to help them make money, but to also help him get some money as well. But also he sometimes helps leaders regain control of their countries. Now, while he's doing that, he's also making money out of that process as well. And so it really shows how crooked Jason Wynn truly is. Now, right after he is able to make a couple deals with some new people from other countries, you then have Violator appear. Now, when it comes to Violator, remember, he told Jason Wynn that they are going to work together to get rid of Spawn. The problem is, though, it has been a very long time since these two have built some kind of an alliance, because it happened back in like Spawn number, I want to say 44 or 45, and now we're on Spawn number 55, and unfortunately these two still have no idea how they're going to bring down Spawn. And so it is Violator saying, you better find a way to hopefully bring him down soon, because I'm getting tired of waiting for you to make a move on Spawn. And so then we jump back over to Spawn. Now, when we do, we see Spawn heading over to a random military base that belongs to Serbia. Now, here comes the thing about this random base, because inside this base, there are a bunch of powerful weapons. Now, when it comes to these powerful weapons, they're only made in one particular country, and that would be the United States of America. And this is where things get a tad bit crazy, because when it comes to these weapons, they were not given over to Serbia by the American government. They were given to Serbia by Jason Wynn. And this shows that when it comes to Jason, he's always trying to make some kind of money on some weird deals on the side, like this one right here. And so when it comes to the American government, they have no idea that some of their weapons have technically landed in Serbia just because Jason Wynn is trying to get some money. And so when it comes to Spawn, the reason why he is attacking this Serbia military base is to find some kind of evidence to prove that Jason Wynn is a dirty man trying to make some dirty deals on the side. Now, when it came to Terry, he believed that Spawn would just go in the military base, find some evidence, and leave. Except when it comes to Spawn, he says, no, we have to make a statement here. And with that statement, I'm saying I'm going to blow up the entire military base. Now, Terry is mad about this because now you are talking about the idea of getting rid of evidence that could bring down Jason Wynn. Luckily, when it comes to Spawn, yes, he did blow up the entire Serbia military base, but he was able to still collect some kind of evidence that proves that Jason Wynn is doing some crooked things on the side. Now, here comes the problem for Jason Wynn, because word gets out that technically a military base was attacked, and the person who attacked that military base was looking for particular weapons that came from America, that came from Jason Wynn. And so when it comes to his other clientels, these other high official people in different governments across the world who are looking at Jason Wynn for protection, they are now worried about the idea that, one, they're no longer protected by Jason Wynn, but two, now all of his drama, all of his mess could technically bring them more problems for themselves. And so you have one guy tell Jason Wynn in particular that thanks to your mistakes, you have basically made an enemy. And apparently that enemy is looking for you. And right now, he's going after the people who are connected to you. And I'm going to tell you right now, those folks who get word that someone is trying to kill you by going through people who are connected to you, they're no longer going to try to help you at all. They're going to leave you out there on your own to die. And so when this enemy comes after you, you'll be just an easy target. And of course, we already know who that enemy is. It is Spawn. But this guy's telling Jason, you messed up. Apparently, you were not able to protect your military base in Serbia. You were not able to protect us. And so now we're going to leave you behind to die on your own by this unknown force. And we already know this unknown force is Spawn. But then we actually pick up with Major Forsberg. Now, when it comes to Major Forsberg, he's one of those characters where it seemed like he could have a lot of potential down the road. But what I heard is that, honestly, he does not do much in Spawn comics. Now, when it comes to Forsberg, he's very close to one particular character, and that would be Jason Wynn. Now, we don't get the full story in this issue right here, but we kind of find out that apparently Jason Wynn killed off Major Forsberg's family. Now again, we have no idea why, but apparently when it came to Forsberg, after his family was killed off by Jason Wynn, Jason didn't have them locked up in some kind of prison in another country for years. And I mean years on years, confinement for years, solitary confinement. And so we have no idea why. Now, when it comes to Major Forsberg, he is going to be saved by Spawn and Terry for one particular reason. But for now, we have to jump over to, well, Jason Wynn. We then jump over to Jason Wynn, and when we do, we kind of find out that the president is calling up Jason Wynn. Now remember, when it comes to Jason, he does work for the CIA, and this is where things get a whole lot worse for our good old boy Jason, because you have the president saying, listen, word is getting out there that you have been going around doing some illegal deals with other countries around the world. Of course, dealing with weapons. Now, here's the thing, Jason, because if word does get out and get back to the American media, it's going to ruin the American government because you do work for the government. And so if our people here in our country find out that you are going around making some shady deals with other countries around the world, it could be very bad for everybody. And so this is me telling you, you better get a handle on this situation before things truly do pop off. Do you understand? And of course, Jason has no choice but to accept the deal. Now we do get a page to remind us that Cygor is still in the picture. Now remember, when it comes to Cygor, he was a cybernetic gorilla. Now the point of Cygor was that he was supposed to be a weapon used for the military to use against their enemies across the world. Here comes the problem with Cygor. See, when it came to the project, it was supposed to be more of a 80% human brain and 20% gorilla brain. Except when it came to the brain of Cygor, it was 50-50. And so, of course, the human side is really trying its best to control the gorilla side, but unfortunately, it cannot. And so you technically have just a super smart gorilla just going on a rampage. But in this book right here, we come to find out it found Spawn's throne in Rat City. And so right now, it's Cygor just waiting for Spawn to come back home. But again, we have no idea why Cygor is waiting for Spawn. And so getting back over to Major Forsberg, we kind of find out that while sitting in prison, someone is trying to break him out. Now we already know it has to be Spawn, because like I said earlier, when it came to Jason Wynn, he locked up Major Forsberg for unknown reasons. And so this is Spawn and Terry believing that when it comes to the Major, he could be used as a way to take down, of course, Jason Wynn. The problem is, though, this man has gone mentally insane for being locked away in solitary confinement for many years. And so even though you have Spawn being able to find the prison cell where Major Forsberg is at, and he says, you are going to help me to bring down Jason Wynn, this man is terrified by just hearing the name of Jason Wynn, because Jason killed off, well, his entire family and then locked him away for many years. And so even though Spawn says, you're going to help me out, Spawn does not realize that this guy may not be mentally ready to help Spawn out any kind of way to bring down Jason Wynn. And so this is where we are going to end today's comic book video. So please leave me a like down below and subscribe. But guys, see y'all next time. Later.